Hey guys, welcome back to Pete Punch Beef Gaming. I want to thank you for coming back. It's been a little bit of a hiatus with all the excitement of 2021 and COVID and everything else that's going on. And I thought I'd kick this new video off with a brand new Kickstarter that I just got in the mail not too long ago. And that is the Car Wars Double Ace Edition. So this thing is massive. It's a cube. They claim this is kind of the packing cube of everything here. It is probably about 18 inches tall, probably about 18 inches across, and depth, height, and length all the way around. It is significant. I got this, I think it was back in, let's see, this first funded in November of 2019 with a target release date of 2020. It is now October 2021, and I got this just a few days ago. Pretty excited about it. I didn't get all of the stuff. I think I got some maps that are, or play mats that are coming, along with a few extras that are still en route or still in transit, but I wanted to go ahead and do this video of Car Wars here. I think the original pledge was 146 bucks, something like that. That's what I'm getting here for this, what they call Car Wars 6th Edition Double Ace. So with that, I thought we'd do a little bit of an unboxing. I'll crack this sucker open and just show you all what we've got here. All right. Okay, so the first thing that comes out of the box is this Car Wars dice bag. We'll go ahead and open this guy up so you can take a good look at him. First of all, it's a pretty sizable dice bag overall, and you can see the graphics on it are pretty nice. Looks like it's probably pre-printed on the bag itself. It's not felt lined or anything, but it's not a harsh material. Same art on both the front and the back. Well, no, I guess it's different here. It looks like you've got this blue car with some machine guns in the front and this lightning bolt looking car. It's got a couple drawstrings on the top. You can carry all your dice in. Pretty cool piece of kit there for Car Wars 6th Edition. The next thing we get here is what they call the Car Wars 6th Edition, I guess, miniature set number 1. I haven't opened this up yet, so let's take a look and see what we get in here. Okay. So right out of the gate, it looks like we get handful of cars. We get Hades, Hydra, the Joseph Special, Pillbug, the Scimitar, and a bunch of other cards that go along with it. The cars themselves seem to be a nice kind of plastic, similar to maybe like Star Wars Legion, something along those lines. Those holes presumably are for the bases back in there. They're pretty nice overall. You can see, you know, length is probably length of most average index fingers there. So I'm going to say that's probably about 2.5 inches overall when you take a look at them. In that case, pretty cool, pretty creative too. These aren't just like, hey, here's my Ford Taurus or my Chevy Tahoe. These are some pretty highly designed looking cars when you get right down to it. Get some armor plating on there. It's good looking. Put that in the right way. And of course, here's the last one that you can see. Now, along with these cars, you get their proprietary bases, and I think that this is designed to be a little bit like X-Wing or something along those lines for movement. You get 4 colors, it looks like: yellow, blue, red, and of course green. They got a couple little holes, and you'll notice, and I think this is important for the turn or for the play, you've got these little notches here, so it's got a little space for the template to go underneath. And I believe the cars just fit right on top here, something like this. Or maybe I've got them backwards here. Nope, I got them right way. So I guess they just, yep, just click right in. There you go. Pretty sturdy, they don't fall out. And you can certainly take them out easy enough, so no big deal. Looks like the tray will hold everything you need. And then you get a huge deck of cards in which to kind of go through. And we won't go through all these cards here, but we'll take a look and see what we've got. The first one is, looks like accessories, laminate, plastic cladding, ablative, ceramic plate, bumper spikes, rockets, bone saw, anvil, dreadnought, all sorts of different items. I think those are the point costs for when you're building your car up there. Pulse laser, all that good stuff. Lots of good cards here. And it looks like we've got another set of cards here. So certainly a very robust setup here. More, it looks like, of the same card. So I'm guessing these are more or less duplicates that you get in here. Just enough to kind of really build out a number of cards when you get right down to it. So that is Car Wars set number 1 when you get right down to it. Overall, I think so far so good. I really like them. The cards themselves are kind of a nice thick card stock. Maybe don't have the same spring back as like a deck of playing cards, but these aren't meant to be shuffled. These are meant to show what kind of equipment you've got on there. They're printed pretty nicely. You can see the thickness on there. Yeah, pretty nice. All right, let's take a look and see what's next in the box. All right, so next on the list, we've got the Linked Weapons Pack. So it looks like another deck of cards here. We'll just quickly get these open so we can take a peek of what we got here. Stuff we've got in store. So I know that probably the first time I play this, I don't know that I will be using all of the different components. I mean, maybe we'll get really excited, but we'll probably start out pretty basic. So, all right, here you go. This tells you exactly what you've got. I suspect the card decks are pretty good here, but you can see we've got linked weapons, brush cutters, disruptors, flamethrowers, hammerhead, jackhammers, pulse lasers, shotguns, standard submachine guns, and then also turreted weapons, arc rifle, light rockets, particle beam, and a shotgun. Shotgun overall, and I guess it comes in 4 different colors, 4 for each player color. And they're kind of the same quality when you get right down to it. You can see. Okay. I suspect the next thing that we'll take a look at here is the Armory Pack. And this will probably be packaged up the same way. Let's get this guy open. So as I was saying, probably start out small, I'm guessing. I don't even know that we use the miniature set 1 to kind of dive into this. We'll probably go ahead and just use whatever's in the base box. And you're going to say, what? What do you mean? That isn't the base box that you're showing me? The short answer is no. This is all the extra stuff that comes in the Armory, or in the Double Ace pack. Again, it's 80 cards, 20 cards per player. More cards. They all look a little bit different. Autocannon, Gauss cannon, both a heavy and light recoilless rifle, minigun, railgun, standard machine gun, the Vulcan, 3 turreted weapons, flamethrower, machine gun, recoilless rifle, and an EM distortion field for a coating upgrade. So I'm not exactly sure what that'll do in game, but as we play more, we will find out more, and it'll become even more exciting as we go. All right, so take out the little cardboard holder. They really did a nice job packaging this overall. So here's the Drop Weapons Pack. And this is going to have sidearms, and it looks like structures, slab, punch bumper, hazards, some counters, fire mine droppers, all sorts of stuff, foam nozzles. And this is an expansion, doesn't come necessarily with the base game here. I like this because it tells you what all the components that you should be getting right out of the gate on this stuff is. So that's pretty nice. And then these are some pre-punched heavy-duty cardstock tokens. And of course you've got the cards already in here, just like we had before, with some cool stuff. We got it. Oh, wreckage also, it looks like. So I'm not going to pull all of this out, but I'll just let you know these cardboard tokens. Ooh, very nice, very thick. And then you've got these hard cardboard sheets for smoke and whatnot. Yeah, those are very slick. Very nice upgraded components, it feels like. They're not acrylic, not plastic or anything like that, but they are nice cardboard quality when you get down to it. The next thing that we've got on here is the crew pack. So this is going to have, looks like different drivers, gunners, barrel tokens, barriers, walls. Oh, and we've got 9 different types of drivers, and it looks like different names associated with it, as you can see here in the video. Along with gear and sidearms like thermite grenades and kill streak. I have no idea what this is. Again, this is above and beyond just the fundamentals of the base box here. It'll show you what we've got. There's all the tokens, drivers. Yeah. Oh, I guess these are, see down here, leave gap equal to the thickness of the turning key. So, I don't know, it looks like you've got rules in here to use these drivers for different things in here. Maybe, looks like maybe your drivers can get out and run around. Again, these cardboard tokens, they look very much the same. You've got some barriers. Perhaps you can bail out. You've got some cards to represent, like here's your driver. This guy's called Wingnut, so you can see. When making a maneuver, add 1 blue die to your driving roll, and then 1 yellow when this driver attacks. So yeah, they look a little different than maybe the standard drivers. There's a couple of Wingnut cards. And you've got all your differences in there. I'm very curious to see which one of these expansions become must play when you get right down to it. I suspect that some will rise to the top more than others, but this is, you know, Kickstarter mania when you get right down to it, where we've got an opportunity to get a whole bunch of stuff in one go, and so you do. All right, the Aristocrat. Avalanche, Brimstone, Jackal, and Stiletto, all cars that come in miniature set 3. I think miniature set 2 is something totally different. I'd have to go back and take a look. Again, the models are the same type of plastic. They are very nice, pretty elegant when you get down to it. You get the same color bases, the red, yellow, green, and blue, but definitely different cars when you get down to it. This is kind of an interesting looking one. I don't know exactly what this is. Definitely kind of sci-fi, futuristic, concept car looking. I assume that in some cases the aesthetics will appeal to some folks, in other cases it won't. Some of them have modeled. I think that looks like a flamethrower. It looks like it's got some rockets mounted on the back, which is pretty cool. I think these will probably also prime up pretty nicely to paint. And you know, the thing that's really nice about them is I'm not seeing an incredible amount of mold lines or flashing on here. So I think it'll be pretty minimal, if anything, to clean them up when you get down to it. Again, you get 2 packs of cards. I suspect they're probably the same. Lots of cards in there. All right, so the next big thing we've got on the list here is the actual, what looks like the board game itself. Oh boy. So this is big. This is really big when you get down to it. So let's see. It's probably a 6 by 12 by 12 or 12 by 12 by 6. If you want to look at that. Length and depth are 12 inches. The height is 6 inches. And this is probably where I'll start the game at. I'll spend most of my time just playing here and figuring this out, seeing what we've got. Okay. Oh, this is the rules box. That's cool. So this comes out. I'm just going to set this all to the side for a moment. Just show you what we've got in here. So you got a nice rule booklet. We've got a table of contents, its color, the art, graphics look pretty good. Everything you need to play. No, it doesn't look like we've got an index, but we do have a quick reference on the back. Rulebook's 24 pages, so it's not unearthly long. So I think it'll be some good diagrams in here. I think it'll be manageable. Then we've got, looks like, oh, maybe these are some like pre-made cars. Oh, it sure looks like it. You can see like, here's the drivers, the guns they've got, all that cool stuff. Some ideas for painting. Oh yeah, and then the backside's got a different look at what you could do for the cars. So this is the Jackrabbit down here. Huh, that's pretty slick. And you've got the Butcher, Goblin, Warhawk, Scarab, Slipstream. Just so you guys know, these are not just paper. These are like some sort of laminated paper. So they look like they'll hold up for quite a while. And the other thing that's kind of cool, so you'll notice at the top here, it's got like underneath the name, Armor Points 2, Build Points 10, Crew Points 3. It shows you what they're worth. And I guess these are all probably about the same. Oh no, they're not totally. So these red ones look like they're in the same build. The blue ones look like they're about 25 point build. So 6 armor, 25 build, and 6 crew points. It also looks like, you know, they're set up in such a way to get you on the table and get going pretty quickly. And these, the backside are all the same. And they have different weapon configurations too, which is pretty slick. I like that. Might be the quick way to start into this whole thing. Got a bag of dice here. All this will end up in our nice dice bag that we've got. These are pretty, they're nice dice. They're maybe 12 millimeter dice. Nice kind of recessed symbols on there. Yeah, not inexpensive, not super fancy, just kind of run of the mill. No complaints, certainly usable. I suspect we'll want an extra set of dice, as we normally do with board games when you get right down to it, but that's something we can work on later. Here's our damage deck, and it looks like a terrain damage deck for big cars. We'll open this up and see what we've got here. So, oh, this is going to tell you, I think, once you get through armor, where it goes. So I guess we've got an orange deck, green deck. Oh, these are for smaller cars. Okay, large cars, smaller cars. Must be based on build points. Initiative. Oh, different hazards. Okay, so these are cards to represent different hazards. So we've got mud, gravel, clay, brush, all the standard stuff. More tokens everywhere. I appreciate the fact I don't have to punch them out. Not that that's a big deal, but it does make it nice. Here are the turning templates. I think these are going to be what you use to move your car around and do your different maneuvers. The pivot points. Yeah, good. So I like the fact this is all contained in one separate box. This is the rules stuff, as it were, when you get right down to it. So put all this stuff back together, and we'll set that to the side. All right. So next in here is miniatures box A. The one below it is miniatures box B. This looks like what takes up the majority of it. Oh, so okay, here we go. This is, so you get 2 of these dashboards, and the dashboard is fundamentally where all the data comes from. I believe you're going to put tokens inside here that will snake around and highlight which which number you're on. So in power, how much power you've got. Here's your speed rating. This is your tires, front armor, back armor, and it's kind of recessed in here. And I believe what happens is these tokens right here are what we use to kind of fill in. So this is the yellow one. So I think this is going to be speed. And your minimum, you can see, and that fits in there pretty nice, actually. 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like an old school slide rule when you get down to it. Armor. You've got these little tokens that go in here, and you just slide it up based on how much armor you have. So in this case, you'd have, like, here's 4 armor. Then you can slide it down. I think that'll work out just fine. Kind of cuts down on the record keeping when you get down to it. You've got your bases, red and yellow. It looks orange when you move around. Then you've got 6 cars, which is pretty awesome. Again, all different. Those are nice. I think one of the hardest parts will be figuring out which car you want to play. Although, you know, technically speaking, this is just like a Monopoly piece. You know, you can outfit your car however you want. It doesn't have to be as per what's modeled on the figure itself. But I imagine people have their favorites. They'll want to paint them up. And probably, you know, I could even see them wanting to take them somewhere. They're doing like a tournament or a league. Take their favorite frame and equip them. And then we've got the last thing in this pocket here. Oh, it looks like a quick reference card right on top. And I suspect these are more just generic equipment cards. You know, the machine gun, the flamethrower, the armor, gunner cards, probably all that good stuff. So we'll peel this off real quick. See what we get here. So the quick reference, yep, here's accessories, like you got a super booster, targeting computer, suspension, drivers, different art. I love the fact that the art doesn't repeat. And it's looks like it's in kind of all the different colors. So that's pretty slick. Nicely self-contained. I'm actually very impressed with how they're packaging all this. It seems like they put a lot of time and effort to think through that. Steve Jackson Games, nicely done on that one. And then we've got, it looks like another car set, and then we're pretty close to having all of this unboxed here. So the last thing, and thanks for putting the holes in the top of the box. Otherwise, I'd never get them out of that main box you've got there. So this is the green-blue set. Oh yeah, take a look. So green-blue bases. This is like some sort of Mad Max futuristic space truck. There's a little bit of flash you can take off, but God, that's really nitpicking when you get down to it. I think that's awesome looking. This is some sort of heavily armed Prius, which I think would definitely make the Prius a lot cooler. No offense to anybody who's a Prius driver out there. I appreciate you saving the planet, but it's definitely not Vin Diesel kind of cool. We got another car there. And then finally, this one looks like definitely a concept car. It's kind of weird how those tires are recessed right there. But definitely pretty slick when you get down to it. All right, and then more cards. I suspect they're a repeat of what we just looked at when you get down to cards. Let's take a look at the last thing that we've got here in our big double ace box. Ta-da! We got some road tile. This tells us everything. We've got road tiles, hazards, one counter sheet, a couple more turning keys, control tokens, ace tokens, damage tokens, all that good stuff. Oh yeah, and so this is what we've got to punch out now, which is no big deal. I think that's probably just fine. And then these are some hard tiles, but they clip together so you can build your own track, which is super slick. I did get the neoprene mat. Just so you can see, I did get the neoprene mat, and it's not here yet, so I'm not really sure exactly what it's going to look like, but you can see a bunch of straightaways, different turn, pock marks, must be hazardous terrain, probably rules for driving through that. You got a lot of tiles here. And then lastly, the hazards. Ice, jagged rocks, wet roads, kinetic, diffusers, all sorts of craziness going on here. And I think the only other thing in the box at the very end here, oh no, that's the rules, it just fell in here. Oh, but on the back, this is important to note, it gives you some configurations of what to build if you're interested. But just an idea, I think you could probably build whatever the heck you wanted to. All right, so that's everything out of the Double Ace pack. I'm going to switch, get some of this stuff organized and out of the way, and I'll give you guys my final thoughts. Okay, so we've unboxed everything here. And I must say this is quite a bit of material here. Especially when you figure like the first Car Wars came in something like this, a complete game. The new Car Wars is this in a complete game, and that includes essentially about 12 cars, I want to say, rule book, a lot of good stuff, some tiles and whatnot in there. And now, you know, you've got this Arenas, which is another very similar box set to what it looked like. So I spent 146 bucks. What do I think here? What do we think, buddy? My son's sneaking into the video here. You know, I have to say I'm pretty impressed. So we've got, you know, the miniature pack 1, which has got 5 cars. Miniature pack 3 has got another 5 cars, so that's 10 cars. Each of in the base set is 12 cars, or 6 cars. So we're looking at a total of 22 cars. I've got dropped weapons. I have got crew packs. I have linked weapons in this thing. I've got armory packs in that thing. Like I said, I've got armory packs right here. I've got road tiles. I've got a whole separate like rule books box set right here. There's a lot of stuff when you get right down to it. Did I get $146 worth? Yeah, probably. You know, I figure I just bought Descent for $160 or something along those lines. And so this seems like a pretty comparable expenditure. So I'm comfortable with it. I have no idea how the gameplay is going to be. I haven't played it yet. I've watched a couple of videos. I think tonight's my first shot at giving it a go, and I'm super excited to give it a try. I'll come back with another video kind of reviewing my thoughts. But so far, the cardboard components look great. The cards themselves look pretty nice. You know, they're not shuffling cards, but nor should they be. That's not the way they're designed. The minis themselves are really clean, nice hard plastic, not soft like some miniatures that we've seen, or like pre-paints maybe. These are hard plastic. The dashboard looks great. I'm pretty impressed. The one thing I'm curious about is oftentimes cardboard here, and I live in the state of Colorado, it will warp, it'll bend slightly due to the lack of humidity here. Right now the tiles all seem to be laying flat. I'm hoping they stay consistent in that regard. But I'm excited. I think maybe the only thing that I wouldn't even say disappointed. I think the one thing that I would nitpick, and this I'm going to stress nitpick because they're really fine, are the dice. The dice almost seem, they're of average quality, no big deal. But when you look at all the comparison of everything else, I think that's maybe the one thing that doesn't shine as brightly. They're not bad. Could they have been a little bit bigger? Sure. Could they have been a little bit flashier? Sure. But there's no problem with them. They're not cheap. They're not marred. They're not distorted in any sort of way. So I really am being a little bit critical when you get right down to it. Now, unboxing is one thing. Playing with it's a whole nother. So like I said, I'm going to give this a go. We're going to play through it and see what we think here. And I'll come back with kind of an overall review of everything. Otherwise, this is the unboxing as a whole. I'm very excited to give this a go. It has been almost 2 years in the waiting, so we'll see where this goes. Thanks everybody for tuning in to Pete Punch Beef Gaming, an unboxing of Car Wars 6th edition. If you like what we're doing here, please like, subscribe, leave us a comment in the section below, and I will see you with another video soon. Thanks everybody. Take care.